Ladies and gentlemen, life will test you in ways you never imagined. People will talk about you, criticize you, and sometimes even try to break your spirit. But the truth is, how you react determines your peace. When you learn to act as if nothing bothers you, you gain control over your emotions, your focus, and your destiny. See, most people give power to others by reacting to every little thing that happens. They get upset, they argue, they waste energy on things that don't move them forward. But successful people, wise people, they move differently. They know silence is stronger than anger. They know peace is louder than reaction. When you learn that your reaction defines your peace, everything about how you handle life begins to change. Most of us go through life reacting to every situation that comes our way. Someone says something hurtful and we snap back. Something doesn't go according to plan and we lose our cool. But the truth is, the real power lies in how you respond, not in what happens to you. Life will never stop throwing challenges, and people will never stop testing your patience. But when you decide to take control of your reaction, you take control of your inner world. You start to realize that peace is not the absence of problems. Peace is the presence of discipline. It's the decision to stay calm when everything inside you wants to explode. It's the ability to choose grace when anger feels easier. Your reaction is the gatekeeper to your peace. And once you learn that, you stop letting just anyone walk into your emotional space. Think about it. How many times have you let one small situation ruin your entire day? Maybe someone cut you off in traffic, or a coworker made a rude comment, and suddenly your mood shifted, your focus dropped, and your peace disappeared. That's because you handed over your power. You allow that moment to dictate how you feel. The person who controls your emotions controls your energy, and the moment you start reacting to every little thing, you become a puppet to your surroundings. But when you pause, breathe, and choose not to react, you regain control. You tell the world, I am not moved by temporary emotions. I am led by purpose. That mindset separates the peaceful from the restless, the focused from the distracted. When you master your reaction, people notice. They may try to provoke you, test you, or pull you into their chaos, but when you refuse to respond, you confuse them. Your calmness becomes intimidating because it shows strength, not weakness. It tells the world that your peace is too expensive to be disturbed by pettiness. Some people thrive on drama. They feel powerful when they can get a reaction out of you. The moment they see that their words or actions no longer affect you, they lose their control over you. That's why emotional discipline is one of the highest forms of intelligence. It's knowing that you can respond, but choosing not to, because your peace is worth more than winning an argument. Your reaction defines your peace because it shapes the energy you live in. Every time you react negatively, you feed anger, stress, and anxiety. Every time you stay calm, you feed focus, clarity, and strength. Peace doesn't come from outside circumstances. It comes from how you manage yourself within those circumstances. Life will always have noise, but you decide how much of it gets inside you. You can't stop people from talking. You can't stop problems from coming, but you can stop yourself from losing peace over them. That's your real victory. Steve Harvey often says that when you stop reacting to small things, you open space for big blessings. Because peace brings perspective, and perspective helps you make better decisions. You can't think clearly when you're angry. You can't grow when you're always defending yourself. And you can't be happy when you're always reacting. The power to stay calm in chaos is what separates ordinary from extraordinary. When you hold your peace, you hold your future together. Learning not to react doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care enough about your peace to protect it. You stop letting temporary people create permanent damage in your heart. You learn that not every situation deserves your energy. Not every person deserves your explanation, and not every moment deserves your reaction. You understand that your peace is sacred. When you respond with calm, with maturity, and with silence, you rise above the situation. You become the one who controls the storm instead of being caught in it. So the next time life throws something at you that would normally shake your spirits, take a breath. Ask yourself, is this worth my peace? Most of the time, it isn't. Smile instead. Walk away instead. Focus on your goals instead. Because your reaction defines your peace, and peace defines the quality of your life. Choose wisely every single time, because the one who controls their reaction controls their destiny. Silence is stronger than anger. Those 5 words carry a kind of wisdom that only life can teach you. In a world where everyone wants to be heard, where everyone wants the last word, silence has become rare and powerful. Most people think that by staying silent, they're losing, but in truth, silence is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of mastery. It's a sign that you've reached a level of maturity where you no longer allow others to control how you feel or how you react. Anger is loud, but silence is commanding. When you choose silence over anger, you show that you're not controlled by emotions. You're in control of them. That's real strength. There are moments in life when people will try to provoke you. They'll misunderstand you, disrespect you, or say things just to get under your skin. If you respond in anger, you give them exactly what they want, your energy. But if you stay calm, if you smile and stay silent, you take away their power. Silence disarms people who expect a reaction. They don't know what to do when you don't engage in their drama. Your calmness becomes your defense. Your peace becomes your weapon. You can't fight every battle. Some are meant to be won by staying still and saying nothing. Now, silence speaks volumes without uttering a word. It says, I value my peace more than your opinion. It says, I'm not going to lower my energy to match your negativity. When you stay silent, you maintain control of the narrative. You don't let your emotions write the story for you. Angry words often create wounds that silence could have healed. The moment you let anger speak for you, you lose clarity. You may win the argument, but lose your dignity. But when you choose silence, you protect both your peace and your pride. You show that you don't need to fight every time someone challenges you because your worth isn't up for debate. Steve Harvey often reminds people that you can't climb to success if you're always stopping to throw stones at every barking dog. Every time you get angry, you waste energy that can be used for your growth. The road to success requires focus, and anger destroys focus. Silence, on the other hand, builds strength. It teaches you patience. It teaches you to listen more, to observe more, and to understand that not every noise deserves a response. There's power in restraint. The one who can stay silent when provoked holds more control than the one who screams to be heard. Sometimes silence can be the loudest message you ever send. When you walk away quietly instead of arguing, people remember that. They see your peace, they see your strength, and they realize they can't shake you. That's intimidating to those who thrive on chaos. Your calmness exposes their lack of control. Silence becomes your statement, and your composure becomes your crown. The loudest person in the room is rarely the strongest. The calmest one is, because it takes nothing to get angry, but it takes everything to stay silent when you have every reason to react. Silence is also the space where wisdom grows. When you choose not to respond in anger, you give yourself time to think. You give yourself time to process, to understand, and to respond with clarity later if needed. Anger is impulsive. Silence is intentional. Anger burns bridges. Silence builds understanding. When you remain silent in moments of tension, you preserve relationships that anger could have destroyed. You also preserve your self-respect. There's a quiet kind of confidence in people who don't need to prove their point every time. They know who they are, and they let their actions speak louder than words. Silence teaches patience, and patience leads to power. It allows you to see things for what they really are instead of reacting to how they appear. When you stay silent, you see the motives behind people's actions. You start noticing who truly cares and who just wants attention. You learn that not everything deserves a reaction because not everything is meant for your energy. Sometimes the best response to disrespect, to negativity, or to provocation is none at all. Let silence answer where words would only make things worse. Let time reveal what truth will show. Anger can destroy peace in seconds, but silence can rebuild it quietly. Silence doesn't mean you accept mistreatment. It means you've chosen to rise above it. It means you understand that responding to every situation isn't necessary for your growth. You don't owe everyone a reaction. You owe yourself peace. Every time you stay silent instead of angry, you strengthen your character, your spirit, and your control. Because at the end of the day, silence isn't empty. It's full of power, full of grace, and full of strength that only wise souls understand. Not everything deserves your attention or energy. And the sooner you understand that, the more peaceful your life becomes. We live in a world that constantly demands reactions. Social media, people around us, even small inconveniences. All are designed to pull us into a cycle of responding, defending, and explaining. But peace and growth come when you realize that you don't have to attend every argument you're invited to. And you don't have to fight every battle that comes your way. Some things simply aren't worth the energy. When you stop pouring your time and emotions into things that don't matter, you create space for the things that do. You start valuing your focus, your growth, and your happiness above distractions. That's where maturity and strength truly begin. Steve Harvey often says you can't move forward if you're always stopping to address small issues. And he's right. Every time you react to negativity or spend your time worrying about what someone else is saying or doing, you're wasting the energy you could be using to build your own life. Not everything or everyone deserves access to your mind. Some people thrive on drama. They live for the attention they get when they pull others into their chaos. When you stop giving them that attention, they lose their power. The less you react, the less control they have. Protecting your energy means being selective about where you place your emotions. You must ask yourself, will this matter in a year? Will this help me grow? Will this bring peace or problems? If the answer is no, then it's not worth it. When you focus on everything that bothers you, you drain yourself. It's like trying to fill a bucket with holes in it. You can pour as much energy as you want, but it will never stay full. The same happens when you give too much attention to things that don't deserve it. You end up tired, frustrated, and distracted from your real goals. But when you learn to walk away, to ignore, and to let go, you take your power back. Every time you choose not to react, you strengthen your peace. Every time you refuse to waste energy on negativity, you gain more clarity for your purpose. The greatest gift you can give yourself is learning to protect your peace at all costs. People will always have opinions. They will always talk, judge, and misunderstand you. But that's none of your business. What people think about you is a reflection of them, not you. When you learn that not every opinion deserves a response, you become free. You stop trying to prove yourself to everyone. You stop trying to convince people to see your worth. You start living for yourself and your mission. It's power in being unbothered by noise. You begin to focus on your path, your goals, and your blessings. Energy is currency, and wasting it on meaningless things is like throwing money into the wind. You'll never get it back. Sometimes peace looks like ignoring a message, walking away from gossip, or choosing not to explain your side of the story. You don't owe everyone your energy. You don't have to respond to every misunderstanding or defend yourself against every false accusation. People who truly know your heart don't need an explanation, and those who want to misunderstand you will never believe one. Save your energy for what feeds your soul. Every time you focus on something unimportant, you take energy away from your dreams. Every time you dwell on negativity, you stop yourself from moving forward. Learning not to give attention to everything is also about emotional intelligence. It's about knowing the difference between what deserves your reaction and what doesn't. You start realizing that peace and progress can't coexist with constant distraction. When you set boundaries and decide what truly deserves your time, people may not like it, but your soul will thank you. You'll feel lighter, calmer, and stronger. You'll stop getting exhausted by the opinions and actions of others. Your focus will sharpen, your productivity will rise, and your confidence will grow because you're no longer giving your power away to things that don't matter. The truth is, you can't control what happens around you, but you can always control what you give energy to. The power is in your focus. Don't waste it on things that steal your joy. Invest it in things that bring peace, purpose, and growth. The moment you stop reacting to everything, you begin to master your life. Because peace doesn't come from having a perfect world. It comes from knowing what to ignore in an imperfect one. When you finally understand that not everything deserves your attention or energy, you'll stop chasing distractions and start living in true freedom. Maturity means choosing calm over chaos. It's a sign that you've grown beyond the need to prove yourself, beyond the urge to react to every little thing that disturbs your peace. Life will always have moments that test your patience. People will provoke you. Situations will frustrate you, and challenges will push you to your limits. But when you reach a point where you can remain calm in the middle of that chaos, that's when you know you've matured. Calmness doesn't mean you're ignoring what's happening. It means you've learned to rise above it. You've realized that your energy is sacred and your peace is too valuable to be sacrificed for temporary emotion. When you're younger or less experienced in life, it's easy to believe that reacting to everything shows strength. You think standing your ground means arguing, proving your point, or fighting back. But real strength is quiet. It's in the ability to keep your composure when everything around you is falling apart. It's the wisdom to know when to walk away, when to stay silent, and when to respond. Choosing calm over chaos means understanding that not every situation deserves your emotion. Sometimes peace is the greatest answer you can give. It takes far more strength to stay calm than it does to lose control. That's maturity. Calmness gives you clarity. When you react out of anger or frustration, you make decisions that often lead to regret. But when you stay calm, you can think, you can observe, and you can make choices that actually solve problems instead of creating new ones. Chaos clouds judgment, but calmness opens your eyes. It gives you the space to understand, to reflect, and to act with intention. Steve Harvey often says that when you let emotions drive your actions, you delay your blessings because blessings flow where peace lives. When you're caught up in chaos, you can't hear God's direction, you can't see opportunity, and you can't feel gratitude. Calmness creates the space for all of that to happen. Choosing calm also shows confidence. It says, I don't need to react because I know who I am. It means you're no longer controlled by the need to prove your worth to anyone. You understand that peace is power and no one can take it from you unless you give it away. Maturity is knowing that your reaction doesn't need to match someone else's energy. When someone tries to pull you into chaos, The most powerful thing you can do is remain still. Your calmness will frustrate those who feed off drama because they can't shake what they can't control. That's when you realize that calmness is not weakness. It's dominance over yourself. There's also a quiet beauty and calmness that people notice. It draws respect. When you stay calm in situations where most people would explode, you stand out. You earn trust because people know you won't be ruled by emotion. In relationships, in business, in life, those who can stay calm under pressure are the ones who lead, the ones who grow, and the ones who win. Chaos wastes energy. Calm builds it. And that energy becomes the foundation for success. Every great leader, every wise soul, every peaceful spirit has learned this truth. You can't control the storm, but you can control how you stand in it. Calmness also protects your health and your happiness. When you let chaos take over, stress consumes you. You lose sleep, you lose focus, and you lose joy. But when you train your mind to stay calm, you protect your spirit from breaking. You start responding instead of reacting, and that shift changes everything. You begin to attract peace because you become peace. People will start noticing your energy. They'll see how nothing shakes you, how you move gracefully even when life gets tough. That's the power of maturity. You don't chase peace anymore. You create it within yourself. Choosing calm over chaos is a daily decision. It's a practice of discipline and awareness. There will always be noise, always be something trying to disturb your balance. But maturity means recognizing that you have a choice. You can feed the chaos or you can protect your calm. The world will test you, but your peace is yours to guard. Every time you respond with calmness, you grow stronger. Every time you choose peace over reaction, you step into a higher version of yourself. That's what true maturity is. It's mastering your emotions, valuing your peace, and knowing that calm is not just an option, it's a lifestyle. Your peace is your real power. In a world that thrives on noise, chaos, and constant distraction, peace has become one of the rarest and most powerful forms of strength. It's not something that just happens. It's something you build, protect, and fight for every single day. Peace is not the absence of problems. It's the presence of balance. It's that inner stillness that allows you to remain calm, even when the world around you feels like it's falling apart. When you protect your peace, you protect your mind, your energy, and your purpose. Without peace, success means nothing because what's the point of having everything if you can't enjoy it? Steve Harvey once said that peace is not negotiable, and he's right. The older and wiser you get, the more you realize how priceless peace truly is. You stop chasing arguments, stop trying to please everyone, and stop letting negativity live rent-free in your head. You begin to understand that not everyone deserves access to your emotions. Protecting your peace becomes your daily mission. Because when you lose your peace, you lose focus. You start reacting to everything, you start doubting yourself, and you start wasting energy on things that don't matter. But when you stay calm and grounded, your mind becomes sharper, your vision becomes clearer, and your life becomes lighter. That's where true power lies. Peace gives you strength that anger can't, wisdom that chaos hides, and clarity that stress destroys. When you operate from a peaceful state of mind, you make better choices. You no longer act out of impulse or fear. You act with purpose. You start realizing that your reaction can either feed the problem or feed your peace. And wise people always choose the latter. The loudest person in the room isn't the strongest. The calmest one is. Because peace shows control, and control is power. It means you've mastered yourself. And once you master yourself, no one can break you. Having peace doesn't mean life will always be easy. There will still be problems, disappointments, and pain. But peace gives you the ability to face those moments without losing yourself in them.